This is probably most definitely a video that I really struggled to decide whether to do. My channel is meant to be more about what I'm doing in India and with all my travel, and obviously the animals. I'm vegan. This is kind of the gear of my channel, but I just feel like it's necessary to put a word out there in regards to COVID-19, coronavirus. So immediately I went into that. I just thought, okay, it definitely doesn't feel like it's real. There just seems a lot of suspicion about it. There's no like, how did it happen? We don't know what happened. Very vague stories. I don't listen to mainstream news or watch mainstream news, and I also take social media very lightly as well. I just didn't feel prepared. And I still honestly, I don't now, but I definitely have a lot more information, and I'm definitely feeling a lot calmer than I did like last week for sure. I manage a Facebook community group in the area, and it went boom. Like there was just such a big explosion. It was pretty hectic, and the worst part that was coming through was that people were so panicked. I don't think I've ever, and I've been actually lived in disasters, I don't think I've seen such like panic in a mass amount of people. And I mean, it's historical what we're going through. Anyway, so this went on, and it started to die down by the weekend. And in that time, obviously, I do a practice every day, and I felt like something wasn't right, like something just felt off. And it made me concerned that I was doing something wrong, or that I was affected. What I was feeling in my practice is that something was off, that the vibration around me was not as heightened, so therefore I wasn't as heightened in my practice. But now I understand it and I get it. I've doubled, tripled actually my practice time for at least probably 7 to 10 days of this lockdown. I haven't been able to. I just go to bed with my eyes wide open, and just dealing with the reality of it, because it does feel surreal in that big Hollywood blockbuster movie. And that brings me to my point, is we're not living in a movie. This is not as serious as what you think it is. Start doing your research, start doing the statistics, because what the mainstream media is telling you is not the truth. It's not 100% truth. And if you're anywhere close to knowing how the media works, you will understand this. Go down that rabbit warren. Even if you think I'm crazy, or every conspiracy theorist out there is crazy, it's your own obligation to actually look into it, to find out what makes you feel at peace, or what resonates with you the most, because that's the key. Because well, let's not look at the government, because the government is actually just being pulled by strings. So up above that, there are organizations running this world, and those organizations have been planning this for a long time. Basically, at the moment, it's the good trying to eradicate the bad. I'm going to give you a couple of links below in the description, and that will take you to the one person I really want you to start that rabbit warren with, and that is David Wilcock. What I think is the biggest thing that has been brushed under the carpet, so to speak, since this all began, and happened days before, and that was the arrest. This is where David Wilcock steps in, because he explains all the research that he's done and all his insiders that he's got, that he has given him the information. He's going to make you question but it shouldn't make you fearful. That's the thing. It kind of answers the why and how. This is all organized. Like it's to basically put us in our houses and keep us out of the way while they do this mass arrest on the cabal. Is just the cases are rising, or that they're getting larger. But what you need to look at is the population versus how many deaths there are. And that's what we're all scared of. We're all scared of dying. We're all scared of the world being wiped out, that big Hollywood blockbuster. When you ever watch any of those movies, it's pretty quick, right? This is not quick. I'm not saying it's not dangerous, and I definitely am telling you stay at home and do whatever your governments, your country are telling you to do, and be careful. There's no vaccine, there's no cure. So how can you just stop having a virus? But again, like we had Ebola and HIV and SARS and many others, influenza, and we've carried on. But this is meant to wipe the planet out. That's the way everyone's thinking, that big Hollywood blockbusters. Everyone's coming in and they're going to, get this disease eventually. So, how long are we going to be staying in our home? How long before I go back to work? When are my kids going to go back to school? When am I going to be able to go to the beach? When am I, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. And the fear is there. The cases that came into India just recently, every single one of them was Indian that had been on a flight from another country back to India. Like, hello. Once that starts to settle down, then I think, which is happening now, definitely happening now, because I feel there's a settled, almost calmness to the eeriness of the very deserted India. And I guess what we're adjusting to is the new normal, because we kind of don't really know when it's going to end. And that's my other point. Why are we being told that on such and such a date, everything will be reinstated? Flights will start, businesses will be able to go back to work. Exactly what happened in China. But the virus is still there. So think about it, guys. It's not as bad as what they are making out to you that it is, okay? Again, there is a virus. Stay at home. Do what you're meant to do. But don't have so much fear in yourself. That's the problem, because imagine the statistics of suicide, depression, anxiety, the amount of people that even have post-traumatic stress disorder from this. It is a traumatic event. Every single person on the planet is affected by this. So we are going to be some kind of, needing, some of us are going to need some therapy. Maybe we all will, who knows? But just try to pull it in. Parvovirus is one of the worst things an animal can get. This animal will go from being extremely healthy in the morning to start to deteriorate by the afternoon, and then the next day die. That's how quick it is. And it's so hard to control for young puppies because they're not immunized for it yet. And that's the biggest wipeouts. And I've explained, one day 32 puppies, next day 2. And this was not one occurrence. This was every time it broke out. And that's just 32 puppies. That's not the whole center, full of dogs. A virus of the degree that we're believed to think it is actually the virus. If it was meant to kill us, think about the movies. If it was meant to kill us, everyone's kind of dead or dying and the last few people are remaining. But it's quick. It's most of this kind of way that they portray it is that it's quick. And it's the same with a deadly parvovirus for an animal. So if it's so deadly and so meant to wipe out the planet, which would have been done, it's been going on for months now. We're in April, and it's been going on since, let's say, December. So, and that's the whole world that's dealing with it. So just really think about why you're fearful, what's causing you to be scared, and where the information is coming from. That's the most critical part of it that I can say. And that is the only reason I've jumped on and made myself vocal, because I want you to start researching and get in there and find out what it is that you find. And that's for a reason, so that we, the rest of us, can start opening our third eye, opening our intuition, understanding what's going on, because it's not going to be for long. Yoga is an amazing experience, especially when you coincide it with meditation and even Ayurveda, which is, the ancient holistic medicine of India. And finding that calm, like having a routine and a calmness to your day, working out what the new normal is for you, while we sit and we let these people, okay, just get rid of all those leaders, make those mass arrests. As the evidence there, it's up to you what you do with it and how you feel about it. But first of all, that it's bigger than what we know, and that it is something good. There is actually, when it's not going to wipe out the planet, okay? It's not going to wipe out mankind. And do your statistics, like have a look at the people that are dying, like actually the age groups, the genders, like that's super important as well. And I wish you the best in finding what is going to make this a lot more real, and to step out of that paradox of living in this Hollywood movie, because that's important.